Howdy, everybody. I'm Jason Salas with KUM News, and the stream team is on location right now. We are coming to you from the Governor's Complex down here at Adelup, where the mood is generally calm right now, but it's expected to be very, very lively, not tense and not violent, not in any way contentious right now, just filled with people passionate, both pro and con, on the very interesting topic that has come up of late. Of course, that is the bill that was signed by the legislature, Bill 32, which is to legalize adult use cannabis in our community. Over on your right side, we'll be talking to the proponents very, very shortly. They've been here for about maybe a half hour. I want to say maybe about between 10 and 15 of them. The members that are opposing adult use cannabis in our community are on the left side of the field here. It's a very sizable field. We are expecting many, many people to come here. It is a Friday afternoon. I believe it is payday right now, so everybody's got a lot of things to do, but these citizens of Guam and these proud sons and daughters of our island are going to make their voices heard, going to sound off, because at 2 o'clock, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, the island's magahaga, will actually directly entertain both pro and con arguments. She is going to see the opposition first off at 2 o'clock. She'll give them about maybe 30 minutes or so because, of course, the bill that was signed, as I said, by the members of the 35th Guam legislature, Bill 32, is now on the governor's desk. So she's going to entertain the opposition first at 2 o'clock, and then at about 2:45, she will bring in the proponents and hear why they feel that adult use cannabis should be legalized in our community. So let's go ahead and walk over now, and let's go ahead and check out some of the members that want cannabis to be legalized in our community. It is a very hot day right now. The air is very brisk, but that in no way has deterred the spirit of these men and women. Hafa day, everybody. Hafa day. Okay, let's go start with William Parkinson, someone with whom we are intimately familiar, I would say, Will?
Yeah, I'd say so. We're becoming friends, I'd say.
Yeah, and now, relative to this issue and everything like that, you have taken your passion for public service and your interest in making these issues known. Very shortly, you will have FaceTime with the governor and everything. So what will you be telling her?
I think the message I'd be having for the governor is cannabis is already on the island. You know, there is multi-million-dollar industry happening in the black market, and thousands of pounds are going through our community. And it's just a matter of, do we want to have a say in how that money is distributed and how this product is regulated? Because right now it's completely unregulated and at the whims of the people in the black market. And I want to get this industry out into the light so that we can make it safe, regulated, and widely available to the residents.
Am I correct in interpreting that, like, your interest would be primarily economic, but also there's the safety aspect, because you're saying it's already here, we might as well cash in on it?
Not cash in on it, we might as well have a say in how it's regulated. Okay. Because I know one of the big concerns of the opponents is, you know, it's being accessed by the youth. Well, if that's their concern, then they should want it to be legalized, because then that way we have regulations and we can hold people accountable. Right now, you can't hold the people accountable who are selling to the youth because nobody knows who they are. But if we have it legalized and regulated and out in the open, we know exactly who's doing what, and we can hold people accountable and make sure it's administered safely and properly.
Now, I saw that you actually personally were delivering some water. You went over there to your contemporaries, to the people that are proposing this. This, by no means today, this gathering is not at all, you know, it's not militant, it's not violent, no, it's not, you know, there's passion, but there's not chippiness.
No, there's no chippiness at all. I mean, and like, it's all one Guam, it's all one love, and we just want to make sure that, you know, we may be disagreeing, but the disagreements we have are not fundamental disagreements. They're disagreements on, you know, outdated knowledge, outdated data, and we're just here to educate them so that they could see things from our point of view.
All right, very well. So let's talk to John Savares. John, hafa day, and thank you for speaking with us.
Not a problem.
Okay, so so Will actually shared like his opinions, his sentiment. Is the group that's assembled here today, are you all of the same mind, or do you have like different interests on why cannabis should be legalized in our community?
My primary, so I have a different outlook on this. Mm-hmm. I see it as a way to get patients access. You know, I'm a medical cannabis patient, and that's my priority right now, is to get patients access. I've been waiting over 2 years to have access to safe medicine, and that is a huge problem because our government has the lack of ability to stand the medical cannabis program up has forced me and other patients to go into the black market, which we talk about safe access for patients. That is not a safe point of sale. That is not being regulated. It is not being lab tested. We don't know what the cannabis that we're acquiring what it has inside, and that's the primary reason why I support the primary reason why I support this measure, because I know that it would give the business community the sense of stability, because it does open up not just the medicinal market, but it also opens up an adult use market, and by doing so, it gives these businesses who possibly want to open the lab. I know Senator Rogel is going to hold off on that other piece of legislation that would lift the 51% requirement, local ownership requirement, until we can see what happens with this bill. And by doing so, at least if this measure passes, if we can keep the lab here, because now there will be more skin in the game, to say, for a local investor. And see what happens in the next couple of months if this measure can pass. If it doesn't, then I guess we'll go. I'll go now. I hope that Senator Rogel will put that other measure back up on the floor.
All right, thanks, John. May I ask, like, given the magahaga's background as a healthcare practitioner, as a practicing nurse previously, when you have sit-down time with her in the conference room and everything, will you try and appeal to her because your interest is in part medical?
I think that, and I would like to refer back to Dr. Dombrowski's public hearing testimony when he said that it's all medical. They, we don't call alcohol medical. When somebody's coming home and they had a long day at work and they need to decompress. We don't call that medical alcohol. But Dr. Dombrowski pointed out that if you want to stop by a dispensary on the way home and get something because you had a long day and you need to decompress and you don't want to go back to work the next day with a negative attitude, and you just want to smoke a little bit to decompress, that's medical. So I believe that's what I would like to talk to her about is the aspect that none of this is. Dr. Dombrowski pointed out that none of this is going to be it's all medical. Okay. It's not not just necessarily adult use or recreational. It's all medical. Okay, well, I do want to bring up that very informative sign. It's an infographic, I guess, as it were, from Pam Duvall. Pam is here. Hafaday, Pam.
Hafaday.
You're here with this interesting sign. Some interesting stats here. Now, although this issue by no means can be framed as like a gender issue, and even though our first magahaga, we celebrate the fact that we've got our first woman governor. Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to bring to the governor, like when you have FaceTime with her and just say, Madam Governor, I would like these issues to be brought from you woman to woman?
Yes, I'm a 60-year-old woman. I suffer from menopause, high anxiety, arthritis, and PTSD. And I've tried pharmaceuticals for different, ailments. They don't work together. As a matter of fact, I'm just useless with them. Marijuana helps me function, I go about my day. I'm very busy. I have children, grandchildren. I take care of my home. It doesn't impair me from my daily chores. In fact, it makes me perform better. And I shouldn't have to feel like a criminal going and buying a roll of papers or, trying to, grow a little plant. I don't bother anybody, and it should be my choice. I don't like the fact that my doctors won't prescribe marijuana because they won't touch it. They won't give me a card. And so, the people that are really against legalizing are the big pharmaceuticals, alcohol industry, tobacco, and insurance, because they don't make money if we get well. So they want to keep us sick. Okay. Marijuana has a lot of healing benefits. Okay. And we don't know all of them. So for a 60-year-old woman, I know I'm not alone. It's also great for menstrual pains, cramps. I mean, in my house, I can't give my kids marijuana. They're not of age yet. So it's chocolate, pickles, and just whatever, Midol. And it irritates their stomach. So they're just going to have to wait,
So you're going to testify about the merits of marijuana based on your own positive experience with it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. May I ask, what we know of Lou Leon Guerrero as an administrator and everything is she likes to get straight to the point, and she likes to say, like, okay, well, like we could have long speeches and everything, but just tell me what you want and everything like that. If she said, can you summarize in one sentence what you're asking on behalf of the people?
as an adult woman, you know, give me a choice. Let me choose what medicine I want to take when I want to take it, because I know what works for me.
Okay. All right, very fair. We have one other person we want to get to. August.
Good day, sir.
How are you? Good day to you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for coming down. Thank you for giving some of your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I saw you performing like a little bit of a percussion session earlier. You're playing the drums and everything like that. So you're trying to keep things light here, but certainly your interest
My
here.
last name is Fest, so we want to make it festive.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what is your interest in why marijuana should be legalized for all adults on Guam?
Many reasons. Number one, Schedule 1 on the plant cannabis has always been fraud, out and out fraud, going back all the way to the 1930s when they made it illegal. No scientific proof to make it illegal. That man's sign over that says marijuana poisons the brain. You look at the U.S. patent, I think it's 6653503. Look it up.
Very impressive.
It says that they're awarding this patent to the National Institute of Health because of its neurogenesis, means it promotes new brain cell growth, and its neuroprotective properties. It says that it's a very good tool to treat Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, stroke, all these things. Plus, cannabinoids kill cancer cells. So why should this plant that everybody could take for preventative purposes, to prevent all these things, it does not cause cancer. It'll get people away from tobacco. It'll get people away from alcohol. It'll get people away from all the man-made ice and meth and cocaine and the prescription opioids. If they got a safe alternative, what would you take? That's my deal.
Okay, very fair.
So it's civil liberties, civil rights, it's truth, and it's medicine.
Okay, August, thank you very much. Okay, so what we have seen now, as I'll go ahead and bring John in here real quick to wrap up before we consider the opposition. So, John, arguments, economic, scientific, just basically in terms of choice have been presented and everything like that. We have heard that Governor Leon Guerrero will possibly entertain as many but not exceeding 50 people. If you do have like a lot more people show up that believe as you do and everything like that, how are you going to decide who goes in and who pleads their case?
You know, everybody's heard my message. I'm going to bypass an opportunity if we have more people. Okay. Ultimately, we don't want to bombard the governor. We understand she's a busy person. We are limiting I think we've identified the people who are going to speak on our behalf of the proponents. And those people will have 5 minutes because we don't want to take too much time for the governor from the governor, because we understand she does have a busy schedule.
Okay, so you are inviting other people if they'd like to come down, and you're willing to give up your seat.
Yes, I am. If somebody else wants to come and speak on the behalf, you know, feel free to come down. I'll give up my seat to hear a new person come to the table, because that's what it's about.
All right, that's very big of you, very altruistic. Thank you again all for your time, and let's go ahead and very symbolically cross the field now so we can hear from the other side of the argument. Thank you again, Will.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so now, if you're just watching us right now, we are the KUM stream team, and we are at the Governor's Complex in Adelup. We just heard from the proponents that are supporting adult use marijuana in our community. Now let's hear from some of the opponents, perhaps maybe one of the most outspoken people in terms of opposition. I know he's going to bring a sign right here, so visual support. Paul Zerzan, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you, thank you.
Okay, good to see you, as always. Okay, we were hearing on the other side, they were basically proposing issues like, you know, the economy would improve should adult use marijuana be improved. They were even throwing some of the scientific fact out there. Your thoughts on that?
They make up the facts. You cannot believe a single thing they say, okay? Same when you go on the internet and you look at the weed.org, they make it up. Okay, I've been around the world 12 times. I've been in countries that have traditionally smoked a lot of weed, and they are messed up. You go to Jamaica, go to Afghanistan, go to Syria, okay? The countries that have traditionally smoked a lot of weed are totally messed up. Now, right now, apparently in Iceland, I'm told they're smoking a lot of weed, but Iceland is not going to be around because they're not having enough children. Okay, but weed poisons the brain and it destroys societies. And I'll match me up with any of those people, a chess game, an argument, a discussion on literature. You'll see their brains are messed up.
Now, to be fair, you were mentioning a lot of those countries, like Jamaica, technically like a third world country. How would you counter-argue if people would say, okay, well, that's a fair point, but what about places like Amsterdam?
They haven't been smoking a long time. Jamaica's been smoking, I'm talking about countries that have smoked for generations, okay? And Amsterdam, they're not having enough children. Amsterdam is a mess. Europe has not produced, right now they're not smoking marijuana, they're smoking hashish mostly in Europe, okay? Because marijuana is a gateway drug to stronger drugs, okay? Now, you look up Europe, Europe is dying. They haven't produced a piece of literature in 40 years. They can't name a famous artist. Europe is aging and dying. They're not having enough children. They're getting high on weed, and they're not going to be around. That's very sad.
Okay. So we have actually understood that Governor Leon Guerrero will be entertaining your group first. So you guys get essentially first crack, for lack of a better term, and everything. Okay. Seeing as how you'll be able to perhaps influence, maybe give her something to think about going in first. Would you rather go first, or would you rather go second?
Well, I think I'd rather go second, okay? And
would you rather receive or would you rather kick off, I guess?
Yeah, I'd rather go second. Okay. Because these people, if I say something, they'll make up facts that contradict it, okay? You cannot trust a single thing they say, whether it be hemp or THC, they just make it up. And they twist things. They'll say like, hey, there's 10 states that have approved marijuana and none of them have repealed it. If it wasn't working, they would repeal it. Well, it's really hard to turn around once you go down that road. It took 100 years for China to repeal the opium addiction. Okay,
those are some pretty bold statements you're making. Not disputing them at all. But in lieu of having evidence, do you actually have documented proof that you can present to the magahaga that you would say to support your arguments?
I brought documented evidence when I spoke at the legislature. Okay. And Clinton Ridgell got up and just started making up facts and contradicting me, and I argued with him, and he threw me out. Okay, so here I was actually hoping, I think my sign says it all. You can look at me and you look at any person there who's 67 years old and talk to us. Okay, I've never smoked dope. They have. You can see whose brain is working better. Okay, I've been around the world 12 times. All right, and so I've been to a lot of countries. And so I don't rely, they say if you want to lie with statistics, right?
And it actually looks like some of your contemporaries now, there are more people coming to this side of the tent, which would indicate that they are opposing.
Look at who's healthier, who is more eloquent, that group or us, okay? And the only factor I can tell you is dope. They smoke dope and we don't.
Okay, so we were talking, you would prefer to go second, but
I would.
As I understand, I don't know if you know this, but as I understand it, you will be heard first.
Well, here's the deal, is I've done a lot of talking. And so I actually came hoping to let my sign say what I say, and hoping that other people hopefully will speak eloquently, and because everybody's heard me, and I'm just kind of repeating myself.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk to some of the other people. Sir, Hafade, good afternoon. Yes, I know you were one of the people that we caught. How are you doing, sir? Right. Yeah, you were one of the gentlemen that we saw the other day at the Eugene Santos the event. Right. Yeah. So I was wondering, when you get time with Governor Leon Guerrero, when you're able to sit down with her and have a face-to-face and everything like that, given that opportunity, what would you like to present to her?
Well, there's several things actually that I like to present. Well, the first thing that's really most important, okay, is that, I've got nothing against the use of marijuana, okay? In fact, actually, for those people who actually need marijuana for medical reasons, they should get it, okay? And for those who want to have, use it in their private places and so forth, as long as it doesn't expose to people, that it can be their right, okay? But there's one problem that I see here, okay? And that's why I say, do the people that are actually in the legislature now, are they actually doing their job, okay? My reference to rocks in their heads is that, do they know what their real responsibilities are? Are they reading what they're supposed to be doing?
So would you?
Let me finish, sure, please. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's, the 8 states. Okay, states, they have their own state constitution. They can follow their constitution, but there's only one federal constitution that governs the entire America. Okay, U.S. And it governs us. It governs all territories as well as the states. But the states have more power than we do. Others, like maybe CNMI, they probably also have the Commonwealth Act or whatever that that actually they agree with the U.S. for their existence. But we have the Organic Act. Okay, the Organic Act of 1950. If you really look, there's 114 pages in there. It basically outlines what the powers are of the executive and the legislative and the judicial. And 1423, which is page 56 or 114 pages there, talks about what their, it outlines what their powers are. And what does it say specifically? It says that they can govern, they can make laws, but they're to be consistent, to be not inconsistent with the laws of the United States.
Okay.
This particular law that they're trying to, this particular bill that they're trying to pass, which they've already passed, is in contradiction with the Controlled Substance Act, which governs the entire federal, the entire U.S.
Okay.
And so what is it that they don't understand there? What part is it that they don't understand there? That's what I'm saying. Why aren't they reading those things? That's the first thing. Then the other thing, of course, is the impact. Okay, have they really evaluated and studied the impact of this law? As on Guam, I worked in California for many years, and I lived there for many years. In the last few years that I've gone there, it is very different. Okay, I'm writing the BART. I usually write the BART every day before.
So the Bay Area.
The Bay Area, yes, and it's clean, it's free, and you never get bothered by anybody. This time, what we're seeing is marijuana smoke everywhere. It's practically, you're going high on secondhand smoke, and people are like crazy. Some people are, we're scared for our lives. I decided to forget about riding BART and said, oh no, it's not even safe to ride BART anymore. Then I go down to where I used to work in the financial district. That used to be safe. It's very, you can walk around and it should be, clean and safe. Now, there's all kinds of panhandlers and people that are, just really a scary place. Now,
okay, well, sir, I do want to give you time so you can continue to compose your thoughts, because the magahaga will be actually entertaining your side first. So as I understand it, you guys are going in at 2 o'clock. I'd like to conclude by asking you what I asked the other side over there. She will see up to, but no more than 50 of you. So if there continues to be like more and more of your supporters, your fellow supporters coming here, how will you guys actually determine who gets face time with the governor?
Well, to me, it doesn't matter. Whatever, whoever wants to speak, that's, it's up to them. If I have a chance, I would like to speak. If not, that's fine. I mean, there will be others here that have their, thoughts and opinions that need to be heard as well.
Well, I'm going to give you some time so you can talk with your friends and family members. And we thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Good luck to you today, sir. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can hear, but August, who we were just talking to, is launched in, maybe appealing to patriotism, it seems. He's launching into a cappella version of the Star Spangled Banner, singing it into a traffic cone. So there's a lot going on here. The sides, basically, both sides have prepared. They have compiled their arguments, their evidence, and they will present it face to face to the governor of our great island very, very shortly. Once again, if you're just watching, the opposition will be heard first at 2 o'clock, and then 2:45. The proponents will get their time with our island's magahaga. That is an incredible opportunity. She's being very, very gracious, and our Ernesto Locanto will be there, and we're going to have a lot more on prime time. So make sure to tune in tonight, because this is a very, very contentious issue. It's been interesting bringing it to you. See you next time, everybody.